Hey, now, welcome. You are listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. This is W.E.A.L.T.H, 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation, my favorite radio station. As you know, you can listen to this show anywhere on the globe and probably even beyond, because I think virtually we are on all the planets as well. So you can go to lynnmillionaire.com. Follow me at Lynn Millionaire on all the social media, because today's show is a game changer. You can also go to WVON.com, and I want all of you to start to get ready, because I am on a bit of a tour. I will be in Chicago in a couple of weeks at the WVON event. I've got some other cities that I'm visiting, New York, Atlanta. And this is the time of year when we should be prepping for 2020 to bring us the kind of financial vision that we've all dreamed of. I remember creating Wealth Vision 2020 back in 2008. And it was my vision back then that by the year 2020, we would achieve a perfect vision in terms of wealth for our families. I was really big at that time into home ownership. Of course, it was right before the real estate crash, and everything crashed. I think everything crashed, everything except insurance. But it was right before the real estate crash, and I truly believed that the path we were on as a community, as a people, and as a world would put us in a situation whereby by the year 2020, we would see a shift in our wealth. We would see a shift upwards in terms of our net worth. We would see a shift in a positive direction in terms of land ownership and long-term wealth and debt freedom. Unfortunately, that vision has not come to fruition. And I cannot think of a better person to talk to today other than my colleague, mentee / mentor. You know, that's when someone mentors you and you mentor them, even if it's from a distance. Anthony O'Neill was 19 years old, deep in debt, short of hope, had no direction about where his life was going. He turned all of that around, joined Dave Ramsey and Ramsey Solutions. He's helped hundreds of thousands of students make smart decisions about their money and relationships and education. And if there's anything that I am most disappointed in, it's this premise that we were fed, that we were supposed to get educations and life would be great. Well, the truth is, all too many of our youth are getting an education and life is not great. All too many of our youth are getting an education and they're coming out of college with mortgages but no real estate. Let me repeat, they're coming out of college with a mortgage but no real estate. So without further ado, I am inviting to the roundtable today Mr. Anthony O'Neill. He is the author of Debt-Free Degree. Debt-Free Degree. Now, you all know I've been saying this. I told my kids, school is free. If you go to A.H., you go to school for free. If you get C's, you go into the free school. Either way, it's going to be free for me. And when I tell people that, they look at me like I have 20 heads and everybody's sacrificing and getting all these loans and folks are in debt. Well, Anthony O'Neill has the answers and the solution to get us out. Anthony, are you with us on the roundtable today? Anthony, are you with us today? Okay, all right. We will talk to Anthony when we can figure out our technical difficulties and get him on the line. But I want to just talk about a few of the things that he's going to shed some
Dr.
light
Lane.
on. Yes. Oh, there you are. Anthony, are you
there
here
I
with
am.
us?
Yeah.
Hey, Anthony, how are
There was
you?
a commercial playing. Hey.
All right now. How are you, Anthony?
I'm doing well. You calling me a mentor? No, ma'am. That's you. You have been mentoring me and other young people, and I'm just happy to be on the phone with you and just honored to share the message.
Oh, my goodness. So tell us, Debt-Free Degree, what made you write this book? Really, it's not even your first book, but this is the one that I think is going to just change the game all the way. What made you do this, And what do you want to share with us today, Anthony?
Well, there's no secrets that we are in the middle of a crisis. We have $1.6 trillion in student loan debt from 44 million borrowers, and I was one of those borrowers. I was one of those borrowers that didn't even need the money. I graduated with my father's GI Bill, and I had a partial scholarship from the National Forensics League, so my school was completely paid for. But unfortunately, I graduated with my faith, church, and a little bit of education, but no financial education, no financial literacy. And so when I got into college, I just racked up so much debt, $35,000 in debt before I even turned 18 and a half. Like, I was literally only out of school for 6 months. And I'm drowning in debt and participated into some wrong things in college and got kicked out. And my parents didn't allow me to come home. And so I was homeless, sleeping in the back of my car. And I realized at that time is that I made some poor decisions, but I made some poor decisions because of the lack of education. And so when I got out of that situation, turned my life around, and became debt free and built the wealth that I am building now, I realized that I have to help people, especially young people and parents, know, hey, if you're going to get an education, you do not have to get into debt over it, and you do not have to have a degree for everything out there. So that's why I wrote the book, Debt Free Degree. It's a step-by-step process on how to get a degree 100% debt-free.
I love it. We're going to talk about the 3 main ways to pay cash for college. We're going to take a break. This is the Talk of Chicago, W.E.A.L.T.H. I'm your host, Lynn Richardson. We're creating millionaires one family at a time, and we can't do it without Anthony O'Neill and the debt-free degree. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. W.V.O.N.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 W.V.O.N.
Are you struggling with your finances? Have you tried everything you can think of but just can't seem to get ahead on your own? Well, it's time to get some help. With a financial coach, you can find out what you don't know and learn to make better choices when it comes to your finances. Lynn Richardson's Wealth Vision 2020 Financial Coaching provides step-by-step instructions daily, a one-stop shop to create your budget, access to vetted financial coaches in specialized areas such as mortgages, insurance, real estate, investing, taxes, and more. Lynn Richardson and her team will help you set goals, undo bad habits, push you past your own beliefs, and gain peace with your finances. Go to www.lynnrichardson.com. That's www.lynnrichardson.com or call 888-LYNN-123. That's 888-596-6123 for more info today.
Hey, now, welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I'm your host, Lynn Richardson. It's W.V.O.N. 1690 AM, the Talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation. One of my favorite radio stations, because the other one happens to just be anywhere that anybody can listen to W.V.O.N. We have a student debt-free expert. He is the financial guru for millennials and teens and parents who are trying to manage millennials and teens. He is the author of Debt-Free Degree, and he is talking to us about how to get a debt-free degree or look at other options. Anthony, in your book, you talk about what to do if you are a junior or senior in high school and there's no money saved for college. Can you tell us a little bit about what you would say to that parent or to that family if they have a child going to college and they don't have any money?
Yeah, definitely. The very first thing I'll tell them is my parents and I were in the exact same situation. We didn't know. My father didn't even know really how to use his GI Bill correctly. So I would definitely say you're not the only parent out there. But the number one thing is I always tell young people in that place, especially their parents, is the most important decision that you make today is your school choice. I really have the discussion of, hey, your dream school is not a dream school. Your dream school is going to be an affordable school. An affordable school is one you can get to debt free. And so I just really break down 3 main things in my book, and I really list out a lot of different things they should be doing from a practical standpoint with the grades and ACT and SAT. But it's just 3 main things, Lynn, is save, find money, and work. Okay, you're going to save by looking at an in-state school rather than an out-of-state school. You may look into a community college. You may look into a particular trade school. But you got to step back and do the research and see what is the best program for you and make sure that the degree that you're getting is profitable. Prime example, in the state of North Carolina where I'm from, in Fayetteville, the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area, you can go to UNC Pembroke for $1,000 a year. That's their tuition. That's a $4,000 degree. For a 4-year degree. That's a great return on your investment. Now, it's not a Harvard, it's not Duke, but it is an accredited, very well-known school in that area. So step back, do the research, look up grants and scholarships as much as you possibly can. I always recommend an hour every single day and work in between 10 and 19 hours a week. The average schooling is going to cost us in-state $6,000 to $11,000. If we stay at home and we eat at home, let's say, for an example, you pay $10,000 a year. Divide that $10,000 over 12. That's $833 a month. You can deliver pizza. You can drive for Uber or Lyft. You can find the funds to pay for your tuition. You just got to be determined to do it debt free.
Amen. Amen. You know, you also talk about, and I have not said this, so I'm going to let you be the one to say it because I don't want everybody to beat up on me, but I will stand and defend you. You said that a college degree may not even be necessary. I've been wanting to say it forever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a college degree is not for everyone. I totally disagree with that statement because when we look at facts, out of 3 students, one student's not going to go to college, 2 will go to college, but only 1 will complete college. So literally, half of the students that start off college get all these student loans and don't even complete school. And then the half that do complete college, let's do the research. Only half of those individuals are actually going into their career field. So they wasted time, they wasted money, they wasted energy on a particular degree that they're not even using at all. But I always say this. I am a huge fan of education. One of my mentors,
Yes.
Mark Cuban, always tells me, hey, learn to learn. You know, you should be learning every single day, but you do not have to be forced to learn from a traditional school route for the rest of your life.
Wow. Anthony, where can people get the book? Tell us where they can go to get the book, and where are you? Where can they follow you, and where can they meet you?
Well, they can go to my website, AnthonyO'Neill.com, to get the book. I have a lot of free resources on there, like some free scholarships that I'm giving away this month, $10,000 out of my own pocket. I also have some college calculators on there. But just to connect with me, I'm always talking like yourself on how millennials specifically can avoid debt, go to college debt-free, and build wealth. They can follow me on Instagram at Anthony O'Neill. But for my book, the free resources, AnthonyO'Neill.com, and just to connect with me and grow at Anthony O'Neill. Look for the blue check mark like you, Dr. Lynn, on Instagram.
Okay, Anthony, I just figured out the gift that I'm going to give away. MC Light and I will be in Chicago this weekend for Louis Carr's Blueprint Men Summit. It's taking place this Friday and Saturday, and there's a luncheon, and there will be 75 young high school men at that luncheon, and I'm going to purchase 75 books and give them away. That's what we're going to do, debt-free degree. So let's make sure our offices connect. Yeah, I always got to support. You know, when Leo and his wife came on, we always support our own. That's what it's about. And I'm really, really happy that you are doing this. I want to get you back on. I want you to talk about some more points. But in the meantime, we're going to empower those 75 young men at the luncheon. So we got to work fast so we can get those books quickly.
Yes, ma'am. Let's do it.
Okay, thank you so much, Anthony. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I'm your host, Lynn Richardson. We have to take a break for news, traffic, and weather with Annette Flournoy. We'll be right back. W.E.A.L.T.H.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago. 1690 WVON.
Are you an exceptional real estate or financial services professional? Do you have a business or service that can improve the lives of others? You may qualify to serve the world as a member of Lynn's List. Visit www.lynnmillionaire.com. That's www.lynnmillionaire.com or call 888-LYNN-123 extension 5. That's 888-LYNN-123 extension 5 for more details.
Hey, now, welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's W.E.A.L.T.H, 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation, my favorite radio station. And we have been talking about getting a debt-free degree. That's right, a debt-free degree. And I think we need to, this needs to be a slogan. Like, it's a book, and Anthony O'Neill is great, but it needs to be a slogan. We need to all walk around with signs that say debt-free degree. Debt-free degree, debt-free degree. That's what we need to do. People don't need to pay for degrees. Let me tell you something. Now, if somebody else is going to pay for it, that's fine. I was blessed. I went to Northwestern University, scholarship completely, everything paid for. My grandmother couldn't afford to pay for that. I finished at Loyola. Now I wound up paying for that master's degree, and I'm going to pay for this doctorate. But, you know, here we are. I'm blessed to be in a position to be able to do it. But I am an advocate for a debt-free degree. Now, one of the things in all transparency, my daughters do have the subsidized student loans, and it helps with their books and things like that. But what I decided to do is I decided to take the cash that I would use for them and let that money earn interest and so on and so forth. And then when they graduate, I can wipe their student loans pretty much clean. I think everybody should have one bill or two somewhere sitting around, but certainly not $100,000 in debt, not $200,000 in debt. I don't understand how people are going to school, getting law degrees and medical degrees, and coming out with $200,000 and $300,000 in debt, and they are prohibited from taking advantage of other wealth-building opportunities. And if they get private student loans, it's even more of a nightmare, because minimally with the government student loans, you can apply for all these different programs, income contingency, repayment plans, you name it. But I am an advocate for building multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income, everybody. Everybody needs to have multiple streams of income. And today I have two calls. I have one at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I have another call at 10 p.m. Eastern. So 3 p.m. Eastern, that's 2 p.m. Central Time, that's noon if you are in California. I have created an opportunity for people to join me making money while you sleep. Yes, I make money while I sleep. For many, many years, I had to work for every dime. If I didn't go out and get it, it didn't get got, okay? But I have been blessed to be able to leverage all of these years of working and laboring and be able to literally make money while I'm sleeping. And so I got together with several of my colleagues, and we did our fourth quarter planning meetings, and I knew that there was something really big. And I said, oh, this is what I need to do. I can help so many more people achieve their goals. I am doing financial assessment strategy time consultations with pretty much anybody. If you go to my Instagram or my Facebook page, my followers will tell you that I call them, they call me, I respond to every email. If I do not respond to an email, it is simply because I did not see it. As many of you know, Grandma B passed a couple of months ago, so I was a little down. I was off my square, but I still was able to connect with people and give them what they needed, even during those days when I could barely talk or just keep my head up. So what they will tell you is that they are going to the next level. And I am encountering so many people who could just use another $300, $500, let alone $3,000, $5,000, $100,000, or whatever the case may be. So I decided to help as many people as I can understand the basics of building multiple streams of income. And one of the first that you are going to be able to participate in if you don't have a home-based business, and I have been having home-based businesses since the beginning of time. I think I came out of the womb with home-based businesses. I think I remember being a cheerleader when I was like 6, and I was collecting the money and getting the outfits and the uniforms and, you know, putting things together. So I've always been entrepreneurial minded, but you want your business to make money. And the number one thing everybody wants to do with their business is to get people to buy it without you saying anything. And so that's what I am in a position to do. And I'm positioning so many other people, regular, everyday folks, celebrities, VIPs, you name it. So there's lots of ways you can get additional streams of income. You can go buy a franchise. You can start a business with brick and mortar. You can start a service. You can hire people. But the number one way to build wealth is to have money working for you when you are not working for it. Let me repeat. The number one way to build wealth is to have money working for you when you're not working for it. And one of those ways certainly is through investing in the stock market, but that can crash. I'm talking about making money off of the efforts of other people and other things that are already moving with or without you. So go to my website at lynnrichardson.com. Click Connect with Lynn, and you will see that there are 2 times to register. I'm only allowing 100 people per session, so get in there. And if you don't make the 100, you won't get the opportunity. That's just what it is. And I think it was almost packed within the first few minutes. So if you don't get it today, you'll get it next time. Make sure you sign up on my website. But we need to talk about debt-free degrees. Children, young people need to go to college with a plan. They need to buy real estate if they're going to move off campus. Instead of renting, they need to buy something and then rent the other rooms out to their college roommates. We need to start teaching them that and training them on that. We need to teach them about the kiddie condo. If they like to draw, if they are good at DJing, one of my daughters loves photography. My oldest daughter is a tutor. As a matter of fact, she's making so much money tutoring, I think I want to start tutoring. I think I want to hang up this job and come, but I would not do well in the tutoring job because I know 1 + 1 and I can do some timetables, and that's about it. I can do division as long as it's not long division with a remainder. Now, I was a math major in college, but some of this math is just too much for me. It makes my mind tweak and it makes me nervous. So she is doing well with that. My middle child is just a CEO of everything. So they really need to be paying her for managing them. I don't know if they've worked that out or if they're still on the family plan where the sister just does everything. But the point that I'm making is everybody needs multiple streams of income, a debt-free degree. That's what we need to go out chanting. We don't need to tell these kids that they have to go get an education at Duke. Felicity Huffman isn't she on her way to jail trying to put somebody in a good school? It's not that serious. Let me tell you something. There is one thing I will not do, and I am not going to jail trying to cheat and get a kid into a college. Are you kidding me? When I already have my degree, let me tell you something. We have got to put our principles, our value system is off. We have smartphones, but we're in dumb situations, and it is time for us to take our power back. It is time for us to take our lives back, and I can't think of a better way to go into a new decade with a new mission, and that says debt-free degree. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's W.E.A.L.T.H, 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation. Go to AnthonyO'Neill.com or follow Anthony O'Neill on social media. Go and get his book. Start teaching, training, learning, and thinking. We have to take a break right now for traffic and weather with Annette Flournoy. We'll be right back. WVON.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
For your loved ones. Do you know the difference between an estate plan and a will? Are you newly engaged and concerned about getting a prenuptial agreement? Are you married to your child's mother or father? And do you know what happens to insurance money if you are not? Call your wealth counselor, Attorney Deidre Wood-Stokes. With over 22 years of experience, Attorney Stokes has all the answers you need to help you secure your family's financial future. You can find Attorney Stokes on Lynn's list at www.lynnmillionaire.com. That's www.lynnmillionaire.com, or call 888-LYNN-123. That's 888-596-6123. Protect your legacy now.
Hey, now, welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's W.E.A.L.T.H 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation, my favorite radio station. We've been talking about a debt-free degree today, and I had MC Light and my guru, my genius guru daughter, Sydney, on several weeks ago, and we were talking about the aftermath of that show, Young, Broke, and Gifted, Young, Gifted, and Broke. And there were two of us in the room who were not broke and one of us who was. And the truth is, even she isn't broke, because broke is a state of mind. Broke is what you think. Broke is what you believe. It's not your environment. You could be homeless literally right now with nowhere to go and not be broke. You could be rich in spirit, rich in faith, and rich in action, and rich in assertiveness, and get to where you're trying to go. And as a matter of fact, when Anthony, what a part of his story is that he was homeless. Now, I don't want to be homeless, but it seems like the homeless people are all becoming billionaires. Can anybody say Tyler Perry? Can anybody say Steve Harvey? Can anybody say a lot of these people who really just went all out and went beneath probably what they ever thought they'd get to, but found the will and found the way to get up. Les Brown, so many people who I know have gone through that cycle and come out on top. So I don't care what your situation is. I don't care what happened. I don't care who did it. I don't care how many times they did it. I don't care what you lost. I don't care what mistake you made. If you can look up, you can get up. And you cannot fail until you quit. And I honestly think we need to start talking about other kinds of education. We need to talk about different ways for people to get from point A to point B. One of the things Hip Hop Sisters Foundation is going to do, as you know, we've presented over $1 million in scholarships since 2012. 4 young ladies graduated from UW-Madison. Each of them had a $100,000 scholarship. Our first year presenting at the Soul Train Awards, we told them we had one $100,000 scholarship. We invited 2 finalists, and one young lady brought her dad, the other brought her mom. And when we got on the red carpet at the Soul Train Awards, we didn't give away 1 scholarship, we gave away 2. The following year, we gave away 2 $100,000 scholarships, and then we shifted our focus to #EducateOurMen. And we have been presenting $50,000 scholarships to young men to attend Dillard University since 2014. Our first 2 graduates, one is valedictorian. The other is a scholar because they have to keep at least a 3.0 GPA. They have jobs. They're doing well. And that's a great story. But some people won't get a degree. Some people don't want to go to school. So one of the things that we are doing as Hip Hop Sisters Foundation is we're going to give away entrepreneurial scholarships. We're going to continue to give away academic scholarships, but we're also going to give away entrepreneurial scholarships for people who need a certain amount of money to launch their business. Some of our youth have billion-dollar ideas, but they don't have the capital or the focus or the mentorship or the strategy to bring those ideas to the surface as soon as they possibly could if they had the help. So I'm just excited about that. You can visit hiphopsisters.org to find out more about what we're doing. Many of you heard about the death of a young lady, Tatiana, I believe that's her name. That's how it's pronounced. And she was in her home, and she got shot. And it's terrible. So MC Light, Tamika, Mallory, Rhapsody, Misa Hilton, and myself have started a collection to help take care of the funeral expenses and to provide some kind of token of love. She was the primary breadwinner for her family. She supported her sister and her nieces and nephew, and it's such a tragedy. But we are on this mission together. You cannot make it in life alone. So as you go and you climb the mountain, take some people with you. A lot of people are trying to get to the top, and then come back and get folks. Well, they might be dead or you might not even make it. So while we are climbing the mountain, we need to pull each other up. We need to lift each other up. I'm excited about the Blueprint Men conference taking place. The men in my life will attend. My brothers, my cousin who is like a brother, my husband, my colleague, her husband is going. So we're really excited about Lewis Carr and the Blueprint Men conference. So if you have not gotten your ticket, please do that. Go to lynnrichardson.com. Click Connect with Lynn. Find out how to start your home-based business. Stay in the business of understanding business. Stay in the business of finding out what's the next hot thing in business. Stay in the business of getting educated. Don't say, oh, that's not going to work for me. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Oh, I'm not going to, they can do that over there. Stay in the information getting business. I've had the privilege. I had Denise Wiggins on earlier this week, and I'm telling you, she's changing the game. She stays connected. She stays educated. She learns from her mistakes, and I have literally watched her transform her businesses, her life, the lives of others. So if she can do it, you can do it. I can do it. I want you to go to lynnmillionaire.com, click Get Help. Whatever it is that you need, do not stay stagnant. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. This is W.E.A.L.T.H 1690 AM, the Talk of Chicago. If you need a financial consultation, reach out. I'm still talking to people, and if I don't get to talk to you, I'm still giving you all the steps that you need to get to where you're trying to go. I've got quite a bit of traveling and TV and radio and lots of stuff that's happening. So the quiet storm is not here. This is a loud thunder, and I want you to be on top of this loud thunder called 2020. So let's start getting it together, and let's do it together now. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I'm your host, Lynn Richardson. Once again, we're creating millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and one dime at a time. And guess what? I've had such a great time with you, and I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.